What's going on YouTube? Noah back here with another video for y'all today. So today, the project of the day is this fiasco behind me. So this is a dump trail. One of my dad's old dump trails. Basically what we're doing is we're chopping it down and rebuilding the floor. Let me send y'all out and I'll show y'all a little bit more, but that's basically what the project is today. Well, we're gonna start it today. It's probably gonna be a few day project. But yeah, let's do it. So I probably mentioned this in some of my other videos, but it's from New York. It's rusted out. So the whole frame on the bottom, this whole piece of tubing down here is rotted. The floor is shot. So what we are going to do is we're gonna, first of all, in case y'all don't realize, this is a tall trail. It's a really tall, I think 6 foot total. I think it's about 6 foot inside, which is great if you're doing like demo work, but when you get shingles or anything like that, it's just too much weight. So what we are gonna do is I'm gonna take from there, probably about 3 foot, about where that line is. We're gonna cut this whole top off. Then I'm gonna lift it off with the crane truck. Then we're gonna basically take this whole bottom frame. We're gonna cut the fenders off, save those. I'm gonna come down here, probably see if we can just cut this or just cut the tubing. Take this whole bottom off, the bottom's junk, and we're gonna basically rebuild the floor. Rebuild the bottom structure. I'll show you more once we get the top off. Basically, as you can see, all that, but this is real soft. So yeah, and by doing that, we still get, all this is good. So we to save that, we use that on the trail, and then just go from there, if that makes any sense. But yeah, that's basically our project today. My goal is to get the top cut off. I like the top and bottom off, but we'll see what we can do. Right now, I'm getting ready to put some cross bracing. Weld some cross bracing in here. So when I go to raise it up, it stays somewhat square. Weld that stuff in so we can keep it somewhat square. Lift it off and go from there. But I forgot to hit the door. I should have hit the door off before I backed it in here. But oh well, we get the cross bracing done and go from there. So I'll bring y'all back. I got my GoPro. I'll set that up when we do the lift, when we lift it off and do a couple other things. So yeah, that's what we got going. I'll bring y'all back once we get some more done. So we got that door off. Did that. Got all this cross bracing put in. I had to adjust that middle was out a little bit, and I'm trying to keep it as square as possible. So I had to put some chains and binders to get that so it's squared up. Yeah, so we got 2 pieces of angle heel, one heel. I'm going to be cutting it right about heel, so that'll be fine. And then this, got that up top. So now is the fun part. We're going to just start. I get my lines laid out and just go through and cut everything out. But yeah, I did pull this in to get the walls back. They bent, and just trying to manipulate them the best we can. So yeah, that's kind of what we're doing. So what my plan is, let me just step outside. Just go ahead and cut everything. I gotta back this up so I can use the shop compressor and all that. Just gonna cut it all. Whatever I figure out, whatever we end up doing. These gotta be 3 inches longer. So then I gotta attach that. So I'm gonna cut all that. Well, yeah. Cut that, then I'm gonna come in through here and cut. Leave a little bit attached so I can pull it forward over here, hook to the crane, and then hoist the thing off. So it's gonna be a little bit of work. So ain't nothing to it but to do it. So yeah, and once we get this top off, I'll lift it up and show y'all kind of a little bit more what's going on with it. So anyway, I'll bring y'all back. I'll film taking it off, and I'll probably set the GoPro here in a minute to get some of this cutting. But yeah. Alright, YouTube, so we got all this based up right here. We got some oil. That binder coming out, I did pull the wall in because it bowed out there. We got all this cut with the plasma. I know a little bit is jagged, but not too bad. We got all this cut. We got all these cut around for those. Right here. So we gotta cut this. So we gotta cut this. Still gotta cut both of these corners. And this is ready to come off. So I'm gonna go ahead and get it rigged up with the crane. Come here and just slice all this with the cutoff wheel, and then we should be in business to be able to lift it off. Yeah, so I got the GoPro set up over there, so that should get a good shot of me lifting this thing off. I'm hoping I can lift it off and I'll have enough reach to spin it around, set it right here, but we'll see. Figure it out one way or another. But yeah, so let me just get the crane started, get it rigged up, and I'll bring y'all back. Alrighty there, YouTube. So as you can see right now, we are just, we as in me, just getting this, get the chains rigged up, one on each side and hooking them to the middle, just to get some weight on it, so then when I go to cut it, that it will not, well, less of a chance of it binding up my grinder. So we got all this done, linked up the crane, picked it up a little bit. Now I got the grinder out, just to cut the last few spots I didn't cut, so that we can just lift it up and not have an issue. But yeah, that's kind of what we are doing. And then you'll see in a minute, I had a couple spots that I had to go back with the torch and just clean up because they didn't quite cut them all the way. But yeah, all in all, it went pretty smooth. Can't complain too much. But yeah, you'll see here in just a minute me getting the torch out and just having to torch a couple spots I missed, and then go from there. Well, enjoy. Alright, YouTube, so looks a little different now, doesn't it? So, had a little spot that was stuck. I had to get the torch out and just torch it, but that's what we got. So this is gonna be the new dump trail. Basically, we're just gonna build a frame on that chassis, and then stick this back on it, weld it on it, and go from there. But that's basically what we got. That got to be rebuilt, obviously, but yeah, looks pretty good. Because all this is, for the most part, solid. Yeah, solid as it could be. There are a couple spots right there that we may have to remake, but that ain't the end of the world to do that. But yeah, just came off pretty easy once we got everything freed up. Lifted pretty nice, so that was always good. We swung over here, set it down in the yard, and we will get back at this once we get the frame built. So what I want to do now is need to get this base off. I'm gonna get the tools out. I'm gonna pull it, dump it, and then we'll take a look at what we got. Because I might just be able to torch, because there's only a couple spots to attach this, a couple spots up underneath, and then the 2 pivot points here. I might just be able to do it with a torch and then just lift this thing off. I might have to put it somewhere or cut it up, but whatever, we'll figure that out.
We could see scattered showers tonight, temperatures dropping to the mid-60s. Rain chances continue into tomorrow morning, cloudy and windy throughout the day. Big changes though with the cold front Friday, high 62. Miss a day, miss a lot. Stay connected. This report is sponsored by Stress Balls De-Stressing Gummies.
Stressed out? Try Stress Balls De-Stressing Gummies. Eat a couple and you'll feel like keep taking stress balls, and eventually your world feels light. Become stress ballers with Stress Balls
way to YouTube. So as you can see, it is off. This is the trail. I'm gonna get all that metal cleaned off. Get these cleaned up so we can reuse them, the hinges. But for the most part, everything it's got some rust, but nothing a little wire wheel. If we go through and just wire wheel all of it, put some paint on them, I think we'll be good to go. But this is the old box. As you can see, it's pretty soft. That's the front too. These were in pretty good shape. That was a saving grace. But all this was all caked on. Those holes I put in. This is up under the tile, so there wasn't much left of that. This is just where we cut everything off. So it would have been more work to try saving this frame. So for what it's going to cost to rebuild it, it's not worth really saving. But yeah, I just gotta go through and figure it up to see. 1, 2. I think I figured out I could get three sticks of tubing and like 3 or 4 channels, something along those lines, and then some 1/8" plate. I'm going a little heavier with the plate just because of I don't really want to put 14 gauge on this. I'd rather we're trying to make it try to last. And then now we flipped it over so we can get all the measurements off of it and do all that. Tell you what, this is one of the piece of equipment that I am so glad I impulse bought at an auction. I think I paid like $3 grand or like $2,000 for this, $1,700. I think with tax and all it was $200 or $2,000. At the time, I was like, what the frig did I do? But on stuff like this is where it pays for itself. I thought you could have done this with a forklift, it would have worked fine, but this just makes it so much easier. We could lift that off, lift this off. But yeah, so that's the plan. We'll get probably, maybe not tomorrow. I don't know if we're gonna be able to get back down this tomorrow, but maybe Friday we can get back on this. We'll see. I got some other work to do, so we'll see when I can get back on this. If I can build, the biggest thing is just building the frame. I figured I got another day in part of the day in clean up, another part of the day with and then probably another day in layout, getting everything tacked in, and then another day laying it out. So we definitely got some work ahead of us, but nothing we can't handle. I'll probably go ahead and get all this cleaned up. I gotta go ahead and pull that cylinder too, because that cylinder gotta come out so we can get it rebuilt, because it's had a leak ever since we had it in the front seal over there. So we're gonna get it taken out, and then I'm gonna see what kind of lead time it is for that. Just have them rebuild it. I can rebuild it if not, but I'd rather just pay them to rebuild it. But yeah, so anyway, that's kind of all we got. I'm gonna head out for the night, but yeah, it's all set and going. Hope y'all enjoyed this video so far, and look forward to part 2. That's probably part 1. How many parts will there be? We'll find out when we're done. But there'll probably be at least 2 more parts to this. But yeah, this is gonna be nice, because before this it was way too tall. It was heavy. People would always overload it with shingles, and then it wouldn't dump. So we're just gonna try solving a lot of that issues, and just take what was a piece of junk and rust it out that wasn't really good for too much, and make it into a walking trail again. But yeah, anyway, so that's what we got. Hope y'all enjoyed it. I hope y'all stay tuned for the next episodes, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more, and I'll talk to y'all later. See ya.